Transport Center and raised his family there. It's an important town to us and him, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Okay, so your dad, for the people that are here and don't know what transpired, I'll bring everybody kind of up to date. Back when we were having water issues and the wells were running dry, we were hauling water, and it was just causing the town to go broke. So we got, can't remember who was the head of, we had a meeting anyway with our engineers and the head of water department or something. Who is that person? Do you know? I can't remember.
You know, Mike, do you remember who we talked to about the Douglas well?
Oh, Jeff Hoffer.
Jeff Hoffer.
He was the
That's Jeff Hoffer. And we had a meeting. We were in the field, and he said, "You guys need to get some water somewhere." And this is where we were looking for something short term, and then we were looking also for something long term. The long term resulted in the 2 wells that we drilled down on the town's property. But the short term was we needed to get some water quickly and somewhere close to the well. So I went to see your dad, Jim, and asked him if it was, the town could drill a well on his land. And that sun's bright. And your dad, we discussed it, and he told me the land that you're talking about is so close to the well, there's nothing I can do with it anyway. So he gave us permission to put a well on the property. And where we came up with that location of the well is the state of Vermont needs to have 200 feet of clearance around every well. So we walked from Vance Hill in 200 feet, drove a stick in the ground, hired a well drilling rig, and up they came, drilled us a well. And it's been a good well, and it's helped us through some tough times, and it allowed us to stop hauling water. So that's where we are at this point. And of course, Jim's dad passed away, and we'd like to do something long-term now for the town on this well. So that's what's on the agenda for.
My understanding, Mr. Burrup, is Dad was never paid for the water or well anything, right? He wanted some kind of tax break, but he never accepted any money. Is that true?
No, I believe it was 3 years, we gave him a letter stating that the value of the water that we used out of there was X number of dollars. And I believe he used that as a tax credit. I don't know what your dad did with it, but we did that. The last year that I think you're referencing now was that he wanted a letter stating how much, value the water we used, and we didn't use any water out of the well. So the letter, and our attorney said that, when you write in a letter like that, you need to reflect its value on what you used. And of course, we'd put the new wells in, they were working okay. So we hadn't used the well at all. So we tried to structure the letter to say that. And I think it did, it came across that. So there wasn't really any tax benefit last year.
Yeah, right. No, and that's all worked out fine. Thank you. That was good.
Okay. So do you have any plans on, this, of course, if it's, do you want the town to purchase the land? That's something we need to talk about in executive session. Real estate purchases and like that are out of the public's purview until such time as an agreement is made. But what's your idea for something?
It's so in general, Dad and I did talk about this because he had received your letter that the select board had mailed to him. So we are, in general, the family it's my mom's land now, of course. So she asked me to come today for her. She has complete control over what we ultimately do. But Dad and I did talk, and we are interested in seeing a proposal of what land you want to buy, how much around the well itself, and then of course ultimately what's the value of that land and well. So we are willing to have that discussion.
Okay, so you'd like us to put together a proposal?
Yes.
We can do that. We can do that. We'll get the value, the footage, exact footage. I know it was 200 feet, but it might be a buffer or something that needs to come into play there. We'll get a value on that. Obviously the well, we paid for that already. So,
Right.
but the land would be the issue. So yeah, we can put together a proposal. I believe Denise has your email or address or whatever. Okay. And maybe we can have something done before the September meeting.
Good.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great. And now I'll talk that over with Mom and the family, and we'll get back to you once we see that proposal. I think that's a good way, approach, right? Does that sound okay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. And then we can have negotiations. Got to have a starting point.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Rick, Jerry, did you have anything for Mr. Douglas?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Okay, Denise, are you all
Thank
set?
you.
No, I'm all set.
Okay.
Am I still on?
You're on.
Yes, Ernest, you're
Am I
still.
still on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, why don't we have a water committee or something to determine if we want that well or what, and figure out how much money we gave them already for the water that we use out of that well. And so that has to be figured in also. So my recommendation to you is get the water committee together and discuss that well.
We, to answer your question on the amount of money we gave for the use of the water out of that, there was no money that changed hands.
Right.
Well, there has to be something. You gave them a tax break or something. There was some money that you figured, and it came out from somewhere. Though
Yeah,
the
Mr.
money didn't. Though it's. I lost you.
No, go ahead.
Steve Barrett muted himself.
Who'd you talk to?
Steve Barrett
No,
muted.
we
There you
didn't.
go.
What we did was we took the number of gallons of water that came out of that and
Yeah.
put a value to that and gave that document to Mr. Douglas. And I don't know if it was he used it or his son or whoever owned the property. Did your dad own it, Jim?
Yes.
Okay, so
So is that Mr. Choquette talking?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just so we're clear, no money actually exchanged hands, Mr. Choquette. Dad was not paid anything for that.
Okay. So where did that water amount go? It just how much water did we use? Where did it go?
Dad donated that water to the town.
Oh, okay. Okay.
well set.
Yeah, but I would recommend that you get the water committee together and discuss this, and we'll go from there.
I will. I'd love to get the water committee together. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else in reference to water, sewer, and solar? Mike, do you have anything?
I've got one resident that his meter is not working, hasn't been working for several months. He refuses to let me in to examine it. He refuses to let me in to change it. He gives me lots of excuses and you know, at the end of the conversation, it's always COVID-19, so I haven't pushed it too far. Other than that, everything's been pretty good. I did have to have some repair work done to the controllers for wells A and B. I don't know if we've got the bill from Monash yet, but they came right up within an hour or two and fixed us up. And well 2 currently needs a visit from Monash. It's not giving me any water. The controllers might be, hopefully, the problem. And beyond that, water's pretty good.
I have a question back on they won't let you in to look at the meter. I believe they have to. And I believe that we could get a sheriff, I guess, that would allow you to go in. But the other thing is if they won't let you in to fix or read the meter or repair that, and they may have disabled it themselves, that we can turn their water off, I believe. Can't we do that?
I don't know.
These are trying times. I know they don't like doing things like that under the COVID stuff. So
I figured I'd try again at a later date.
They're
But it's-
paying their bill, I would say we can't.
Yeah.
I just find it unfortunate that they got to be that difficult.
So you have no idea how many gallons they've used,
None, no.
and they could have the faucet just running right down the drain.
You know, one of his neighbors has the same issue, and I haven't been able to make contact with him.
Okay, I mean, I think we could find out from authorities. That's pretty strong language on these meters, that if they're tampered with or if access is not given to them. So we'll look into that.
Shows how unhappy the people really are about this whole situation.
Anything else, Mike?
That's it.
Okay. Solar panel, the solar system working all right, Jerry?
Yeah, everything seems to be working good.
Good. Okay.
I do have a question on who to contact on the solar panels for the electrician to put in a transfer switch. He wants to make sure he doesn't cause any harm when he disconnects to connect, and I just need somebody he can call he can talk to him.
Who wants to is that Mike?
Yeah, we still haven't got a transfer switch wired up over there for the generator, and I would really like to see that happen, and the electrician would like to talk to somebody that can make sure he's not gonna do no harm if them solar panels are generating electricity and he deadheads them. And just-
They should be a main switch over there, a big one, and it shuts off the whole system.
well, he just doesn't want to shut it off and cause them harm.
It won't. The solar panels produce DC current, and the DC goes into an inverter on each pedestal, and that inverter converts it to AC. That doesn't work unless it sees the AC line producing an alternating current. So if you break that alternating current, the whole system shuts right down.
Yeah,
Okay.
but who was it put them in, Steve?
Rich Nichols?
Yeah.
Rich Nichols. So it's Rich Nichols you need to get hold of, Mike.
Yep.
Solar Tech.
But it sounds like we don't have to worry. Sounds
No, I don't think so, but it would be good to touch base with him.
And Mike, I can give you his phone number and you can call him and he'll tell you if it's okay to just.
Okay, we're just trying to make sure we didn't cause no harm to them things.
Yep. And any solar generating system into the grid has to have a switch that anybody, if there's a fire on a house or a fire, fire department or any authorities can just come up, throw the switch and the whole thing goes down. So that's the way it's designed. But Rich Nickel can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just to be safe.
Okay, if there's nothing else on water, sewer, and solar, we went through a sewer inspection, correct, Mike?
yes, we did.
And that was okay, the
Yeah,
inspection?
everything looked pretty good. They you know, they want me paying close attention to the fields and the alternators, the flouts. And you know, they have the guy that does the inspection every year. His concern grows every year because he comes when there's high flows. And we've had the discussion with Wayne Elliott that when there's high flows, it doesn't alternate as much because it takes longer for it to dump because the water's flowing in faster than it's leaving, it seems, or close to the same speed. And but other than that, he had identified some manholes, which I actually found today with the cameraman, and that we needed to locate. I found them. And there was a couple minor things that nothing really to worry about.
Okay, good. Thank you. Moving on, next item up is the road commissioner's report. And Barry has a request to ask Mike Bayraw questions regarding pipe. Which pipe is that, Barry?
I have no questions for Mike.
No questions?
I got updated of
Okay,
information from a more reliable source.
all right. Very good. Moving on, we've got Mr. And Mrs. Bell on ATV traffic on Class 4 roads, and I see Mr. Bell is with us via Zoom. There's no video. Are you here audio-wise?
I am here audio-wise.
All right, very good. We did get your letter. It was included in the board packet, and we have read that. Do you have specific questions for us? Would you like me to give you kind of an overview of what's going on, or what?
I just wanted to make you folks aware, if you were not, of the consequences of your decision. That essentially the decision to open the roads to ATV traffic is fine on roads that the town maintains, but you seem to be shifting responsibility for your decisions to private citizens by opening the roads that we have to maintain to that traffic.
And I understand that. And our process that we go through is it's a yearly thing. So I believe it's October, or is it, no, when do the ATV trails close, Chris?
It's usually the 1st of October.
Okay. So when the ATV trail, the Vasa Trail closes, our roads in Newport Town also close. Our stickers that we have and the agreement that we have with the people is that they can use the roads when the Vasa Trail Network is open. So once the Vasa Trail Network closes, then our roads are closed. And in the spring, the Vasa or the club comes to a select board meeting to discuss which roads they would like to have open and to identify the Vasa Trail Network.
Our concern is that our road is not open to traffic. There is no trail access on through our road, but we've still seen about a 400% increase of traffic by ATVs on that road. Obviously, people who don't actually live there. And there doesn't, the town has pretty much announced that there is going to be no enforcement of ATV traffic. So people have taken your action as carte blanche to drive where they want, when they want.
We have tried to, it got inappropriately labeled as part of the Vasa Trail Network. And we've been backpedaling on that since then. We've tried to put signs up and people take them down.
Well, and the signs that were put up were, essentially crayon on cardboard. They were not professionally made signs that anybody had any reason to respect as being official. It looked like somebody in the neighborhood had just gone up and stuck up a plastic sign because they didn't want traffic there. I think if you want to genuinely convince people that the town has said that that's not a trail, that a sign actually printed in a professional manner that maybe even says it's the town's property on it might be a more useful path to conveying that message.
That's a good point. Good point.
So as of next year, you're going to go through another decision process
Yes.
about what roads are going to be made accessible to ATV?
Yes, in the springtime,
Okay,
when the club comes, and there are other issues that, we've been discussing.
is it possible for me to, at this point, request that I am invited to that meeting?
Absolutely. It's an open meeting.
Well, I mean specifically, can I receive at the time notification that it's taking place?
Absolutely. Denise, did you get that?
Yep.
Okay. Town clerk will specifically notify you, Mr. Bell.
Can I
Are you
ask a
still with
question,
us?
please?
You're muted.
I am. I was just having a side conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question about the ATV traffic on Vance Hill Road, which is excessive? Is that part of the trail?
It's the stickers that the ATVs get allow residents or non-residents the ability to use the town roads to gain access to the ATV trail or VASA trail network. Where the issue has come is, of course, obviously the city of Newport and Derby, they opened up all of their roads as VASA trail. So anyone going to the Lane Road or the city of Newport access has to go down the crossroad, the City Farm Road to gain access to that. So if you're on this side of town and you want to gain access to the City Farm Road, you go up Vance Hill and down up the Lake Road and over to the City Farm Road and over to the Newport City Trail Network.
Okay. I was wondering about that. A lot of noise going up and down the street, but not so much from them as motorcycles in the middle of the night and everybody that doesn't have a muffler. Very noisy. But what are you going to do?
That's a whole nother discussion that I am very, what I want to say, adamant about. I run an automotive shop and I do inspect vehicles, and I deny Vermont inspection to a lot of different vehicles based on the loudness, the tires sticking out past offenders, lots of issues. And it appears they go somewhere, I don't know where, but get a sticker from somebody. It's not me, just to share that with you.
Well, you can buy them. I used to buy them in Massachusetts. I never had a car that passed $50. I had to drive around the back of his house.
That's illegal.
To get the sticker, $50.
Anything else for Mike on the road commissioner's report?
I did have one further point to make on the issue of the Class 4 roads.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And that is that I would like the select board to consider in next time they take this matter up to exempt Class 4 roads from the policy of being able to use them to access VASA trails. I don't see, regardless of when the trails work or what's officially a trail, I don't think it is equitable for the town to open up Class 4 roads to this additional traffic. I don't see any reason for it. The Class 4 roads are largely dead ends that nobody would need to pass through to get to a VASA trail in the first place. And if you just say the Class 4 roads are closed to ATVs, then that would eliminate all the issue of the residents of these roads having to take on extra cost because of the town's policies.
Yep, I understand that. There is a difference on Class 4 roads are a public right of way. And I understand that the ATV traffic increased the amount of business on a Class 4 road. But if someone had a Jeep or four-wheel drive truck, tractor, that Class 4 road is open for public access. And that's all.
I'm happy to have a Jeep or a tractor go up and down our road.
Okay.
What I don't want is parades of ATVs zooming through above the speed limit.
Yep, and I understand that. And the other thing is, for a class 4 road to become part of the Vasa Trail Network, we have a procedure in place that addresses every landowner's concerns. So if in the future, your class 4 road is going to be a Vasa Trail, you will be directly involved in that. So the select board does not take lightly any road can become a Vasa Trail.
Right, I understand that, and I accept that, and I appreciate that. I'm happy for that. That's all well and good. My point was not that I'm worried about the road becoming a Vasa Trail or not being involved. My point was that for class 4 roads that are not declared part of the Vasa Trail should not be open to ATV traffic.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for your concerns.
Thank you, and I will look forward to that invitation in the spring.
You will. Thanks. Anything else for Mike on the road commissioners? I think I asked that once. If we're all set. Okay. Listers, errors and omissions, Linda Curtis and George Gillespie.
Yes, the listers asked me to bring that to your attention. What happened is they bought an adjoining piece of property next to their land. By state statute, it has to be combined so that they only get one tax bill. The listers did not do that, and it came to their attention. So they have to, since the grand list is lodged, they have to do it through errors and omissions. And what it is, when they join both pieces of property, it decreases the value by $4,000 on her property.
Okay, I understand that. And we need to have a motion to accept because this will change our grand list.
Yeah.
And when it does, the property tax rate changes, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we accept the error and admission from the listers in regards to Linda Curtis and George Gillespie combining the property for a $4,000 reduction in the grand list.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the correction signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Hearing none. Ayes have it. Motion carried.
Steve?
Yes.
I'm not sure Mike was done on the road commissioner report. I think you passed right by. You didn't ask Mike if he was done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike. We're going to back up to the road commissioners. I believe Mike, raise your hand because I can see you. All right. You're back. What would you like?
Okay, Dan gave his notice. He's all done after tomorrow. I was gonna ask to hire a person anyway, so now I'm looking to hire 2 people. Just part-time thing really does work pretty well, but I'm afraid this winter with the snow that I think I would really like a 3rd full-timer. I hope. I need an idea as to where we're gonna offer them, what we're gonna offer them for money to start.
Say that again.
I was curious what our starting pay is gonna be. What can I tell the interested parties?
The way I would address that is I'd leave that up to you.
Okay.
We're losing people. I talked to Dan a little bit today, and I believe it was based on money. We need to become competitive. I'm getting sick of training people for the state of Vermont, for Pike Industries, for whoever else. So yes, maybe we do start them low, but obviously when they get some knowledge, they're leaving. So if you find somebody that's good, you know, use your judgment and go from there. I don't know what else to say.
What about Jerry and Rick? Do they have anything to add?
I think we ought to sit down with Mike and discuss it in probably executive session.
We can do that. I don't have a problem with that at all. When we come down to that, we'll move into that for pay.
Okay, and Hutchins, they finished the paving. They had a couple of blemishes on the crossroad. They made an attempt to make them better. They're a little better. They're still not perfect. But I'd also like to know, they went 450 extra feet over there for me, 55 tons of no charge. So just saying that it didn't, they did try to make it up. Like to think we're done with FEMA from the Halloween storm, but we're not. Hopefully another couple weeks it will be wrapped up, but it's not one thing, it's another. The Western Star has a minor issue with some dash lights and stuff. So I called Charlie Boys. They tried to talk me through it, but I'm not a mechanic. And so I tried to make an appointment with them, and they did say I could take it down Monday morning, but if it's going to be more than an hour or two, they said my truck has to go to Plattsburgh, which was not part of the agreement when we bought that truck from them. So if in the future, I was curious if I can't contact McDevitt's in Lancaster, who's a Western Star dealer, and see if they won't do our warranty work. Because if all our warranty work now has to go to Plattsburgh, that's like taking the truck away for a week, no matter how minor of a detail it is. I was pretty adamant with Sandy that that's not the way it was supposed to work when we bought that truck.
No, it was not. No.
So I'm asking if I can get warranty work done at McDevitt's in Lancaster.
Anywhere you can get it. Okay. Warranty work is warranty work.
Yeah, they should be happy to see the truck and get the business.
I know we can't go to Canada, but even if they do it in Canada, if we could go there, we could do it.
Yeah, okay.
And you've had this conversation with the salesman we bought that truck from?
I did, and after my conversation with them, they called me back and the service guy and told me to bring it down Monday morning. They would do what they could. I just know if down the road it's an actual bigger issue, or I don't want to lose a truck for a week over something stupid.
No, check with McDevitt and see if
Yep.
Or anywhere else.
Yeah.
Close.
Well, McDevitt's is like an hour and 20, hour
Yep.
and a half.
Yep.
It's not much different than going to Charlie Boys. But going to Plattsburgh's a ways, which
Yep.
they would transport the truck there, but it's still
time down.
well, yeah.
If they're gonna do that, then they need to furnish us something to use.
I just wanted to air that out and get your opinions.
So you're on top of it.
Sounds good.
Okay. Denise, did you see Albert joined us?
I did not.
Yeah, Albert Felker joined us. I admitted him to the meeting. He's
Okay.
muted right now, but
Okay.
And I'm still working on winter sand. I got to screen some more. Roadside mowing is done for the most part. Probably try to do some bush hogging hopefully soon. But I've still got a lot of gravel to put out, a lot of edges to cut, a lot of work. Staying really busy.
Do we need to advertise for personnel?
We are.
Okay, you're already doing that?
I've got a guy that's interested in the job, actually going to come work next week, part-time until we make a decision on hiring
Okay.
full-time to help me out. And my father's been helping.
I see that.
He's been helping a lot.
Yeah, good.
tremendously. I think that's it.
okay. That it, Mike? We'll finish the conversation on the pay under executive session.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. Back to the listers. Oh, and by the way, Albert Felker, welcome to our meeting.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
So we're down to the listers. We've approved the errors and admissions. The third lister position, there was in the board packet, a gentleman that's moved here from Las Vegas and Detroit, Michigan, from what I read, that is interested in becoming a lister. There's also we had someone that showed some interest, and we think we ought to contact them too. Is that right, Jerry?
Yes, it was brought to my attention that at town meeting last year, there was someone that was interested in possibly doing it if there was an opening. But this person wasn't contacted and has been a resident in town for years, and I feel that they should be asked before we make a decision. So I would like to table this until the next meeting.
Certainly. I didn't say to appoint anywhere. It was just for discuss. So let's contact this person and see if they're still interested. And if they are, have them formally apply. And maybe we'll meet with both of them and
Yes.
see what's going to happen. Okay. And then the other thing under the lister's position was lister's pay. And we can discuss that in executive session also this evening. Denise, anything else under listers?
No, that's it.
Okay. Before we go into some of this stuff we need to do, Albert, did you have something I know we kind of went past the appearances by local citizens and visitors, but you're in, and is there something you need to talk to us about? Or are you just here to visit?
I'm just here to observe. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So moving on, in our board packet, we had an agreement, or we've been doing business with Russell Graphics. And they're the ones that do our tax maps, make sure all our deeds and properties are properly signed, positioned on the map, and that company, Russell Graphics, has been sold to CAI Technologies. So we've got an agreement with Russell Graphics, and we need to end that agreement. And part of signing this letter states that, Russell Graphics has done everything that they were supposed to do for the town, and that we're releasing Russell Graphics from anything further and having it transferred over to CAI. And Denise, did you meet with CAI?
Yes, I did. They came up, and they're actually out of Littleton, New Hampshire. And Dean Russell Graphics is going to work with them on a consulting basis for a year to ensure that all of his Vermont clients, get transferred over. And it seemed real nice, very, very reputable company. So.
Okay, Russell Graphics was out of where?
Georgia.
Georgia.
He moved to Atlanta, Georgia, yeah.
And this new company's out of New Hampshire.
Yes.
It sounds like it might be in our benefit to have someone a little closer.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Russell Graphics was really good, but these guys, I think, are going to be as good. They're a bigger firm, but does the same type of work. Their tax maps look exactly the same. So, yeah.
So, gentlemen, is there Rick and Jerry? Is there any discussion on this?
I have none. I looked through it. Looks good. Denise is the one that has to work with them. It's their call.
I need a motion.
I'll make the motion that we do it.
All right.
I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of signing the document with CAI, releasing Russell Graphics from their obligations to the town, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Hearing no no's, the ayes have it. Motion carries.
By me, Denise.
And the next item up we got is to set the tax rate for 2020.
Setting the tax rate.
What's that, Steve?
Next item up is to set the tax rate for 2020.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be a little difficult on Zoom, isn't it, to
It is. I don't really know. I kind of like you guys to. Well, I can tell you what I did. The education tax rate is set by the state. So the homestead tax rate is going to be 1.4933. Non-residential school rate is 1.4977. What I did is for the general fund appropriations and roads, I took what was voted at town meeting less any anticipated revenue for the general fund and roads and came up with a tax rate. I had Avis came up today and double checked me to make sure that I did these figures right. So the general fund would be a tax rate of 0.1091, appropriations 0.0996, and roads 0.3385. So that would bring your residential tax rate to 2.0405 and the non-res to 2.0449.
You need to go a little slower for me. I got the residential is 2.0405
Yes,
and the non-resident is what?
2.0449.
Well, that's pretty close, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah, the education is within a half a cent of each other. That's why it's so close.
Rick or Jerry, do you have any questions relative to the tax rate?
I do not.
No,
Then I'll make a motion that we set the tax rate of 2.0405 for residential and 2.0449 for non-residential.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to set the tax rate. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the tax rate? Well, just one question, Denise. What was last year's two figures?
Residential was 1.9681. Non-residential was 1.9975.
Thank you very much. And in comparing that, it's went up a little bit. So
Yes, it did.
yep. Motion made and seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor of the tax rate signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Tax rate has been set. Anything else, Denise, on that?
No,
Okay.
no, we're gonna try to put a note in with the tax bills. Now people can pay online if they go to our website.
Well, that's a good idea.
We want to try to find a way to send a notice. The town of Troy started doing that last year and they just put a whole separate piece of paper in with their tax bills. So we're gonna try to do the same thing.
Okay.
What is your website name? The URL?
Townofnewport.org.
Townofnewport.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Moving on. We need to sign the orders, review the bank statement and journal entries, and sign the Verdun Cemetery deed. Gentlemen, you two, have you signed the Verdun Cemetery deed?
No,
No, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
signed.
See you when delivered.
Okay, they've signed it.
Okay, thank you very much. And earlier today, I did look over the orders and I put my name to that and the bank statement. So, and I don't know if the other two have done that.
Yes.
Yeah, they did it while we were at the meeting, yeah.
Okay, so that's been taken care of. Moving on, is there any unfinished or new business?
I have none.
Okay, I don't either.
Nope.
So, moving on again in the agenda, we have an executive session if necessary. We have to talk with Mike and discuss the lister's salary. So we will, at this point, which is 6:34, I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make the motion to go into executive session at 6:34.
Okay?
And I'll second that.
And that's to discuss pay. All those in favor of going into executive session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We are in executive session. I'm going to leave the meeting running, and I'm just going to step away from the screen and have a discussion with the other two or three.
So should I mute my computer at this point, Steve?
I think we should just go outside.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah.
So just leave everything running, and the people, I'm going to leave the meeting running. It is being recorded, and so everybody can have a conversation or whatever. So thank you very much.
Anyone want to talk about the transparency of the water system and why we're not getting any answers and we don't know what's going on? No, I guess not, huh?
Is that question to me?
Anybody?
What's
Yeah,
that?
if you want to talk, I'm just asking everybody that's there.
Oh, hey. Well, we're going to have I hope we have a meeting to discuss some of that stuff, and then, but they've been, with all this virus there, we haven't had any water meetings, so hopefully we'll have some water meetings and we can go from there, because we can discuss the Douglas well, and we can discuss all the other things.
That sounds good, but it sounds unlikely to me. I mean, what we really need is to know what's what we need to know. We need to know what's going on so you can have a meaningful discussion. That's my problem. I mean, I'm going to get information, but it's like pulling teeth, and we know traditionally they don't want to give up. They don't want to share information. And this is bad. This is what my issue is: transparency. Transparency is very important in this. It's a law. It's a constitutional law. It's an open meeting law. It's one of the most laws that gets challenged because a lot of select boards don't want to tell the people what's going on. They feel like they're above it and they wouldn't understand, and we're in charge. We don't have to include you. And it's just not what our government is about, and I don't like it. And I'm going to make issue of it. I want to, I need to know information. And I mean, I get a lot of information, but it's like pulling teeth. I have to go put in Public Records Act to the state level that they're dealing with, because they won't tell me. If I do get an answer, it's off the wall. And so this is my concern. I know a lot of people don't like what I'm doing, but transparency is very serious. Without transparency, you get corruption. People are talking about money at meetings that are not noticed, that no one knows about. That's bad news. Bad news. Like, take Diaz from Coventry. What was she doing? Anyway, that's my issue. I urge people to pay attention to that. It's not healthy in government to have your leaders spending money and not letting us, not being transparent about it. And I don't know. I've seen too many of that. That's why I ask people, get involved and ask questions and be updated on things. And that's what my mission is. But not everybody wants to get involved. Not everyone wants. It's just a very few people. We only get 4 here today. I'm helping out, I guess, by I get another 30 people that listen to Town Newport group, and I discuss things and put documents on there and everything. And those people are interested in. I'm helping approximately 30 people right now. If anyone wants to join, I'm not about opinion or anything. I'm just posting facts, meetings, meeting notes and contracts and things like that. If you want to do it, you can't let people just run the town without being accountable. It's against the law and a bunch of other things. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, I know that they don't like it, but anyway, enough for me. Anyone makes a comment? I'd love to hear it.
Hey, I missed the part of the meeting earlier. Was there some discussion about Clark Mountain Road and like that?
ATV stuff?
Yeah, I missed that part. It was on the agenda. Did anything get discussed?
Yeah, they were talking about it in detail. You know what I mean? But yeah, I be honest with you, I'm not totally up on everything that's happening. I didn't quite understand. All I know is that a lot of roads are open and people are abusing it. And there's what was his name? The guy that left the meeting. He was kind of what was his name? Anyone remember?
Bell.
Who?
Henry Bell.
Henry Bell. Henry Bell was very concerned, and he had a lot of things to say. These videos are archived. I think you can get them from Denise if you want. You can request a video from her. She'll give it to you.
Okay, that's good information, and I will probably email her and ask her how I can go about doing that, because I would have liked to seen what was discussed, and I just was late.
Yeah, there was a decent discussion, maybe 10 minutes, maybe more.
There wasn't much discussed on the ATV, but he's got a house, I guess, on the Class 4 road or something on the Class 4 road. But I went on these Class 4 roads, and I'll be honest with you, the ATVs are not making any damages on these roads. We, if they're bad, we take care of them. And if you stop and see who's paying all the taxes and all the bills in town, these fellas that live on these Class 4 roads or live on these dirt roads, they don't even pay enough taxes to cover the roads. So why should they stop other people from using the roads when we're paying for those roads ourselves? So
now, this sounds like Ernie Charquette. Is that you, Ernie?
See what happens.
Is that you, Ernie Charquette?
That's who? Yes.
Okay, good. Hey, thanks for weighing in on that. The Class 4 roads, how much maintenance do we even do on those as a town?
The ATV clubs maintain these Class 4 roads that they get to a point where they're bad. But, the Class 4 road, basically the town don't have to maintain them underneath the laws. So, but the ATV clubs maintain them if there's any ATVs on them.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now, this road that they're talking about, Clark Mountain, which road is that?
Oh, it's way up past Pogany Hill Road. It's on the other side of Pogany Hill Road.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, well, that's.
I've been on it.
I've been on it. It's way out
there.
What's that?
That particular road, Albert, wouldn't be maintained by the four-wheeler club specifically because that section of road isn't an ATV trail. So that section of road there.
It's not.
Right.
It used to be an ATV trail, but
the only ATV that are supposed to be using that particular piece of road are the ones with the town permits. There was a mix-up, and it was put on the VASA app, but has been since pulled off. But they were complaining about, you know, the class 4 road being used by ATVs, and, you know, typically the people on a class 4 road have to do the maintenance, you know, their own maintenance or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the guy that was complaining, he's been complaining a little bit this summer. He complained about dust. The ATV club, in good faith, you know, just to keep them happy and the town happy, offered to go up and put some chloride in front of this person's house, and they wanted no part of it. So I don't know. I just kind of stayed out of it. We'll just have to see what happens. But the only people using that are people with town stickers. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Sure, anytime.
You do it. Yeah, you're pretty well involved. You. Yeah.
It's hard to get uninvolved, even if you try.
And that's right. Yeah. Well, you know, let's see if we can't, get all these class 4 roads open or what have you. You know, why they're so fighting for so hard. You know, I don't understand it. But we'll see. There's people that fight everything anyways.
I'm not 100% sure, and at the end of the day, the town has the last say on any town road anyway, but I believe that your Vermont registration, it doesn't do much for you, but I believe now that does give you the right to use any class 4 town road, unless it's for some reason.
That's what I heard.
You know, the town says no for some specific reason. But like I say, that plate doesn't do much for you anyway, but I do believe it does do that at this point. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. It's a public road at the end of the day. I think it's just going to be a lot of politics before it's done, but that's why we're here, right?
Well, people, like Barry says, people
right.
need to get informed and let themselves be heard.
Exactly.
I'd like to add to that, Chris, and I'm hearing that's what I heard, and I heard that too. But there's resources. This month we paid $3,000 towards VLCT. You can call them up and get the exact information, the exact law, instead of word of mouth. I heard, because that's another one of my issues. Everyone misinterpreting laws and coming up with their own version, and then a lot of people believe it. I do research on a lot of laws. I've been working with the Secretary of State, and when I do laws, I go to them. I get the exact laws and exact information, because it's too loose. And a lot of people don't do the work. I put a ton of work in, but for my own being informed, and I feel good that when I quote a law, it's backed by a lawyer who does this full time, 7 days, 5 days a week, and that's all they do is municipal law. These people are the experts. That's on the Secretary of State. Also, the VLCT. We can't call them because you have to be a member of the body, but still, I've challenged some of the people on the board, about laws that were vague. I said, call the VLCT, and they didn't do it. We want the real deal. Call them. If you for anybody in town, we can call the Secretary of State, and I urge people to learn to use that resource. I've learned a lot of people on state level. You ask them questions, and they stop dead in their tracks, and they give you the answers, as long as you're not confusing, and you have your agenda right to ask them. They'll bend over backwards. I've been 5 years. I get anyway, hundreds of emails, not hundreds, dozens of emails. And it's a good thing. I urge anyone to check it out. It's I have on my website. I have all the contact information, but it's pretty easy to find anyway. But they'll give you any department you want. If you want municipal law, they'll give you somebody that specifically deals with municipal law, who's an expert, or open meeting law. It's very good. I mean, if you really got questions, you want the proper answer. A lot of times the selectmen, even Denise, doesn't have the exact law, doesn't have the law correct, and it's inadvertently that they don't know it. You know, there's a lot of laws to learn. So I feel more comfortable to getting that information absolutely, with the Secretary of State. They'll send you a quote of the exact law that's applicable. And anyway, so much for that. It's just a suggestion, but I'm out.
All right, we are back out of executive session at 6:55.
You need a motion, make a motion to come out?
Yep, need a motion to come out of executive session.
I make the motion to come out of executive session at 6:55.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. And we're going to take Mike's recommendation on hiring pay to hire a third worker. And they'll be on a 90-day trial period when we find somebody, and go from there. Mike has someone that was interested with no benefits, part-time as a trial. So we discussed that. And then on the lister's pay, we decided that the money's in their budget and they are doing a good job. We would raise their pay to $17.50. That what they wanted? I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need a motion to raise the lister's pay to $17.50.
Can I say something first?
Yep.
I'd like to make a note that their last increase was in 2016.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll make the motion to raise it to 17.50.
And I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded to raise the lister's pay to $17.50. And we just have 2 listers, and we are looking for a third. There was an application put in there, and we've also found that somebody else might be interested. So motion's made and seconded to increase the lister's pay. And that, did we vote that?
Not yet.
Yes,
Oh.
we just, oh, well,
No, he didn't. He didn't.
we just made the motion.
Right.
Motion.
You got to vote on it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that starts on their next pay period, correct? This isn't retroactive back to the beginning of the year.
No.
Okay, thank you. Good. Is there any other business before the board? Hearing none? I need a motion.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Okay. Who are the listers right now? Who stayed on?
We have Arlene Brown and Oscar Roberts.
Yes? They're the two that stayed on. Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're done. Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you for attending the meeting, and good to see you, Albert. Hadn't seen you for a
Okay.
while.
Everybody take care.